So who has to judge? Only we have to judge with our output and results and the impact which creates in our lives. The speaker here, Mr. Venkat, Lakshminarasimha Somayaji. We know him, Sea Change. We know him for last 2.5 years. I don't know, after you came back from US, about 2 years ago now. So all along he was in US, he was in the Bay Area, he worked with several organizations. Right now he's a Senior Director of Managed Services at Dices India Private Limited. He manages a team of 150 people who work on projects for customers located in US, Southeast Asia and Middle East. He has a wife and 3 daughters, happily living in Chennai. We all meet him quite often for the topic which he's going to handle. That's going to reveal a lot of insights. His education qualifications include BE from College of Engineering, Guindy, MS in Computer Science from State University of Binghamton, New York, MBA from Santa Clara University. He's a very active volunteer. He spends quite a lot of time, like Mr. Vijay and all of us, every single day, spending time for others to learn, to take quality decision through meditation. So I welcome Mr. Venkat to handle quality decision making, session through heartfulness meditation. Sea Change Consulting team. I know I'm the last to go and you have somewhere to go. So I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. Well, let's stick with this one. I don't know if you know, but an average human being consumes about data that's worth 16 hard drives. Let me put that in context for you. Big data was not a term that was around 5 years ago, 6 years ago, but it's now big data that can be used by everyone here. So much data is available, so many analytical tools are available, up in the cloud, in your mobile. But has that led to quality decision making? Or to put it differently, what does it take to take good quality decisions? And given the interest of time and the fact that I have to conduct a meditation session for you at the end of this, I'll try to simplify it into 2 different things. And of course, I'm reducing the notion of what it takes to make better quality decisions. First one is what's called a bias, a cognitive bias. How many of you have heard the term cognitive bias before? Okay, a few of you have. Cognitive bias is where you react to information and data which most of the rest of the population think that it's off normal. It's not what they would expect you to do. I'll give you a very simple example. If I gave you a use case of a person, a student, who was very active in social causes, okay, throughout her college and school, a student who's been very active in her social causes and also environmental issues. If I were to ask you quickly, tell me what is the role that she's very likely to take. The 3 roles that I can give you is a TV reporter, a bank teller who can propose and support social causes and environmental issues. A, B, C. What would you pick? A, how many people? B, okay, C. Good. So those who picked C, if you actually look at the choice that you made, the difference between C and B is not much. B is a bank teller, C is a bank teller with social causes and standing up for environmental issues. You just took the information that you had, I summarized it and gave it to you and quickly saying this is the person, this is what she is proud of doing in her school, and then I told you to pick something, make a decision, you pick C. It's called, there's a cognitive bias term for it. It's called, some sort of a conjunctive bias. It's like, you're using information that was already given to you and trying to correlate it as closely as possible to the options in front of you. You may be better off not making a decision at that point or saying that I need more info. But pressed for time, you would pick C. If I were to, I'll give you another example. If I were to give you $150 today versus $180 1 month from now, which one would you pick?
A or B? A? Okay. If I were to tell you that, think about this, if you had $150 today in your pocket right now, and I said you will have $180 in 1 month time, what is the return on investment? I'm sorry? No, 20% there, right? 150, 20% of that is 180. No business, nowhere else, if it was with no risk and all of that put together, if you were to get 20% in your pocket for an investment of $150 now, you would take 180. The point I'm trying to make is that's a present bias. I'm just illustrating examples of how cognitive bias seeps into our thinking, and it's very critical for decision making. Where does it come from? It comes from the mind. And how does it come into the mind? It's based on data that I already know. If I take any event today that is happening in the national scene, and if I ask the audience here, how many of you feel for it and against it? You hear everything in the media and you are making your decisions along the way. About any personality, I can post a photograph here of a national leading politician, and I'm sure there's a good spread of people with opinions. It's the cognitive bias that comes along with it, even though you may not know the person very well. This is one example of how there's tons of data, but the decision we make is impacted by cognitive bias. And there are varieties of cognitive bias. It comes from psychology. It actually comes from our mind. Forget about what's written in the book. It comes from the fact that we want to pick something where we are comfortable with. We want to pick something where we are risk averse. We are pre-built that way, and we need to open up from inside. No amount of teaching from outside is going to do it. So L&D is great, but you need to actually also then put it into practice and evaluate it. Design thinking is great, but you need to evaluate it from within yourself and then make the right choices. How do you do that? How do you free yourself up to take the right decisions? And of course, what the answer is going to be, because Mr. Anand has given you a brief view of what we're going to do at the end of this. So I'll continue here. Look, I belong to an organization where we make millions of dollars picking the right candidate for our client. That's one part of our business. Millions of dollars. We have put an artificial intelligence platform on top of it to say that if customer A, based on what I know, has a requirement, of the 25 candidates that are in the market today in this region, this is the most likely candidate that I need to place with the customer. We have an AI platform. Still, when that recommendation is made, a recruiter has to pick and choose whether it's a right fit or not. What I'm trying to say is, you may have the best platform in the world, but ultimately the decision is taken by a human being, and there's a lot of rationale behind it, and that is something that we need to be aware of. And I'm now talking to you as a business owner, as someone who leads a company. What is your cognitive bias? Where are you coming from, and how can you free yourself up to take those quality decisions? The other one is being an artist or a designer. I'm specifically talking about innovation. How does innovation come? It comes from some sort of an inspiration from inside. We have seen that. I'll cut the suspense. I'll read it for you because it's not very clear from where you probably sit. This is Steve Jobs, who headed Apple for a long time, and he was the inventor of the iPhone, and before that the iPod. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Now, I don't mean to trump the gentleman who came in front of me. I think there's clearly a need for rational decision making to consider all the data. But at the end of the day, there has to be something where the inspiration comes for you from inside to make that change. Like how Mr. Vijay Rambatla talked about coming up with a different alternate idea. The inspiration has to come from inside. How does that inspiration come from? How does that innovation come from? What does science say about it? Well, science says that the brain has two parts to it, as we all know, the left and the right. Most importantly, the left part of the brain is all about analytical thought, logic, language. If I gave you a question, 3 plus 2 is equal to how much? You will use all the past knowledge, come up with the most rational thinking and say it's 5. Whereas if I were to ask you something about intuition, I give you a scenario, I paint you a picture where the data is not deterministic. You cannot determine and say this is what it is, but you need to come up with an intuition. That part of the brain that comes up with intuition is the right part of the brain. And as you know, most of us are right-handed people, at least the majority of us. Even though we may be left-handed, we've been trained, some of us, to be right-handed. That's a different topic. But the right-handed people use the left part of the brain. Some of the other folks use the right part of the brain. So the right part of the brain is less used on an average human being, and that is where creativity, intuition comes up. Now you may ask me, how is it related to heartfulness meditation, which is one of the topic about how it can improve the quality of decision making? Well, this is the scientific image of the brain. Is what science tells us about how the brain is. On the left is your before meditation, and the right is after 10 minutes of meditation. It's not Venkat telling you, it's science telling you, and I have a lot more than this, but in the interest of time, I'm going to cut it down short. I'll give you one other data point. The constant chatter in your mind that gives you these inputs, constantly when you're about to make decisions, rational thinking comes from the frontal lobe, which is like this small part of the entire brain. The big part of the brain is unconscious thoughts, things that you tell yourself which you're not even conscious of. So how do we program ourselves to make better quality decisions, lessen the chatter within ourselves so we can truly listen to what the market is saying, we can truly listen to what customers are saying and make sense of it? Meditation is the technique to do so, because what meditation does, and again I don't have a slide for it, is it rewires and makes blood flow more to the part of the brain where the unconscious thoughts come from. There are conscious thoughts which you program, and this is why even if you were to tell yourself, be positive, you're telling yourself, you know that you're having negative thoughts and you're saying, be positive about it. But deep down you are unable to change that pattern of thinking, and that comes from the unconscious part of the unconscious thoughts, and that's that part of the brain. And what science proves is A, the blood flow comes more to the part of the brain where the unconscious thoughts come from, that gets mitigated. B, any stress that comes that impedes our creativity and innovation or rational decision making is this part of the brain called amygdala. It's how many of you have heard of the phrase amygdala? So I can stop on this one. It's a part of the brain that has a fight or flight type of thing. If you're going to conflict, if you're more powerful than the other guy, you're going to get in and show who you are. But if you're weaker than the other guy, you better run. So this kind of thinking of should I get into the fight or not? Am I capable of doing it or not? That stress, everything comes from amygdala, which is here, deep inside the brain. And again, science proves that if meditation is done properly, the amygdala activity goes down for people who meditate well, and therefore you're inherently built to not take stress. Even though everything outside should say that you should be very stressed, you are actually calm making the decisions. So with this as a prelude, I would like to give you an experience of meditation. This is not just a theoretical session, but it's going to be more practical in nature. But I want to be respectful of your time. We're at 6:15. Would you be able to spare 15 more minutes to have an experience of meditation? Can I have a show of hands? And by the way, I respect if you don't have time, but I just want to ask you that question. Is that okay? So thank you for giving me 15 more minutes. I'm going to make it an experiential session. We're going to do it quietly. What are we going to do? We're going to put a thought that there's a source of some divinity in the form of light in the heart. With that thought, we'll start the meditation session. How is it going to help? When you are paying attention to this, you just ignore other thoughts that come up, this chatter that goes on, just ignore it. And if done repeatedly with some practice and help, you can easily focus on what you need to focus on and ignore other things that are bothering you, be it at work, at home, in the society. You can gently guide your mind instead of controlling it to what you want it to go to, rather than focusing on everything that's coming at it. It's a matter of training, it's a matter of experience, so I'm here to give you that experience. So if you don't mind, I'm going to sit there and then I'm going to take you through the process. One request, just one, which is to please switch off your cell phones for 15 minutes. I have switched off my phone. You can always turn it back on. I'm not talking about the quiet vibrate mode. I'm actually requesting you to please switch off the phone and give us 15 minutes and then you can experience it. Thank you. If I were to walk down a dark street and if I know dogs are barking at me from a side street, I better not look at them, because when I look at them, they get power. If I keep walking straight down, they don't get attention from me. But what I'm referring to is when we are idle, like they say, idle minds have a lot of things going on inside. I'm referring to that. The remaining part of the 23 and a half hours where we are not taking critical decisions, how we are reshaping our mind and our brain, that gets changed by a regular practice of meditation. I hope I've answered your question. Is there a mic that I could use without feedback? Or all right. It's okay. I'm going to take off my shoes, but you're welcome to keep it on if you want to. I hope you have switched off your phones. We'll do this for just 15 minutes and I will call time. We're just going to be quiet. I'm going to take you through a relaxation exercise from the toes to the head, and then we'll come into the heart. Put a thought that there is a source of divine light in the heart. இதயத்துல ஒரு தெய்வீக ஒளி இருக்கின்ற எண்ணத்துல தியானம் செய்யப்படும். Please sit comfortably and close your eyes. Let's start with the toes. Please wiggle your toes and feel them relax. Feel a gentle healing energy from Mother Earth go up through your legs, relaxing your toes, feet, ankles, calf muscles, knees, and all the way up to the lower back. Feel that the legs are relaxed. Feel that this energy is going up through your back, all the way up to your shoulders, relaxing your entire back. Relax. Feel this energy go up through your hips, stomach, and the chest area, relaxing you. Feel this energy in your shoulders and feel any tightness in your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your shoulders. Feel this energy go through your hands, your upper arms, forearms, wrists, and out through your fingertips, relaxing your hands. Relax. Feel this energy go up through your neck, relaxing your neck muscles, and up through your face, relaxing your mouth, nose, eyes, ears up to the earlobes. Relax your facial muscles and relax your face. Feel this energy go up through your forehead, all the way up to the top of your head and beyond, relaxing your entire body. Now gently scan your body, and if there is any tightness in the muscles anywhere, relax with this energy from Mother Earth. Now gently bring your attention to the heart, to the thought that there's a source of divine light that resides in your heart, illuminating it from inside and drawing your mind's attention inward. feel the love and light in your heart, and with this joyous attitude we'll start meditation. If other thoughts come up, simply ignore them and continue to meditate. Please keep your eyes closed and continue to meditate until you hear the words that's all. நான் that's all சொல்லும் வரை தயவு செய்து கண்களை மூடி தியானம் செய்யவும். Please start meditation. தயவு செய்து தியானத்தை தொடங்கவும். How this experience was for you. And generally a mind that's very light or is settled or peaceful can take better decisions. It's very straightforward. I can throw tons of yogic literature at you, but of what use is it if you can experience it and feel it for yourself? And what you just experience is heartfulness meditation. And I'm a certified heartfulness trainer. And we are a non-profit organization that exists in 160 plus countries with 13,000 plus volunteers like me around the world. So you're very welcome to experience it some more if you like what you have got today.
Thank you, Mr. Venkat. So, 6:40. I don't think I should take more time. I hope you all have had a good experience of attending all 4 topics, ended with a good note, meditation as well. So, stay connected with Sea Change. We do quite a lot of these kind of workshops. We are available online at Sea Change Online is our YouTube channel. We load several videos on various topics, including meditation. So you can always get connected with us to support each other. Thank you once again. And I must share my heartfelt thanks to the YouTube channel and Entrepreneur Live. The promoter, Mr. Jana, he helps us a lot in supporting us by even taking this live coverage. Of course, today we only recorded all the 4 sessions. We will share this link through WhatsApp to all of you so that you can share it with your own friends and families. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care.